fucking spaghetti!
This is kind of like a podcasty kind of vibe here. I'm using a webcam for like the first time ever. And, but I'll put some gameplay or something over it so you don't have to look at my fucking face. Anyways, I just saw this and I felt like it would be kind of worth talking about just because I thought it was so fucking ridiculous. And it cracked me up just how fucking wrong this was. There was this there was a song and a general sentiment around the time of World War I of the song name was "How You Gonna Keep Them Down on the Farm After They've Seen Paris." And I guess Paris is just a way of saying Paris if you're a fucking douchebag. The what's this thing, like fucking like 10 frames per second? What is it? It's the worst. The lyrics, hold on, this is straight from the Wikipedia page. It was made by Sophie Tucker, and the lyrics highlight concern that American soldiers from rural environments would not want to return to farm life after experiencing the European city life and culture of Paris during World War I. And in hindsight, I think this is fucking hilarious, because I think at the time they thought they were just going off to war. Like they were going to get over there and just shoot a couple Germans in the face and then go sip at a fucking coffee bar in Paris. That's not how it fucking works, lady. It's not like it was nicknamed the war to end all wars or anything. It's fucking brutal, man. World War I, I'm going to stick to my belief it is the most inhumane war we've ever had. And thanks to that, we had like some agreement afterwards where everyone was like, dude, you know a war's bad when after it, everyone that was part of the conflict got together and they sat down and they like at a dinner table after a big family fight on Thanksgiving. They sat down and were like, all right, we're going to have ground rules for next time. It's like, it was like the first UFC fight where like they went in there and started doing fish hooks and eye gouging, and they sat down afterwards. And they're like, we gotta ban some things for future wars. Because that shit got a little bit out of hand. And I think most of it was the chemical warfare, man. That chemical warfare was no fucking joke. That was a weird fucking time, man. Because everyone still had, all the generals and everything, had the mentality of like 1800s wars, you know, the rank and file bullshit. We'll drown them out with waves of people. But like engineering had come so far that we had ways of throwing bullets in massive amounts, and so it was just piles of bodies everywhere. And each side had a fucking like mad scientist. This Dr. Frankenstein motherfucker that was just concocting weird shit and like mustard gas and stuff. Hold on a second, I got a book around here. This is the best book of all time. I read it every time I'm taking a shit. This is perfect I'm taking a shit book size. Essential Militaria by Nicholas Hobbs. All this is it's just like weird military facts and stuff from like all over the world, from all different time periods. It's jumbled together. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Alright, the use of chemical warfare in the First World War was pioneered by Fritz Haber, a Prussian Jew who went on to win the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1919. On the 22nd of April 1915, Haber was on the front lines directing the first gas attack in military history. About 150 tons of chlorine blew across the fields of Flanders, Belgium, spreading panic and death among the British and French soldiers. Haber returned to Berlin with his new technology, apparently vindicated. A few days later, on the 15th of May, his wife Clara, appalled by his perversion of science, shot herself in the fucking face. Why is that funny? Haber later invented Zyklon B, the gas used by the Nazis to effect the Holocaust. Let's, this guy... Alright, so this guy pioneered chemical warfare. He's the guy that sat down and was like, dude, you know what would be really cool? he sat there and directed the first gas attack in history. He's a Jew himself, and he created Zyklon B, the shit that they used to gas the other Jews in World War II. This dude took out his own fucking race in Europe, basically. You know, the more I read about this guy, he's starting to sound like a real fucking jerk. Look at this. I told you they had mad scientists on each side. They fucking did, man. There's all these gases were used. Tear gas was used. Sneezing powder was used. This ain't no fucking around sneezing powder, dude. It would, like, make you... Like, your eyes would pop out. You were sneezing so fucking hard. Like, you couldn't do anything else. So they would just, like, as you were sneezing, they would just walk in the trenches behind you and club you over the head like a fucking seal. Chlorine gas was used for the first time. Phosgene gas. Mustard gas. Alright, but get this. This one's kind of funny to me. Alright? I'm sorry. If you're going to try to use gas to kill someone, and this happens, I don't feel bad for you. Where's this, wait... Hold on. These are, it's in a friendly fire accidents column here. Oh, wait, this one's kind of funny. In his first engagement during the First World War, Lawrence of Arabia shot his own camel in the back of the head. How do you fuck that up? What an idiot. Alright. Alright, on September 24th, 1915, in retaliation for German use of poison gas, 400 chlorine gas emplacements were established along the British front lines around Loos. After the gas was released, the wind changed direction in the most northerly sector, blowing it back into British trenches. That's what you get, you fucking idiot. Oh, God. No, that shit was fucking brutal, man. What was I talking about? The whole reason I started talking about was like the misconception that these dudes were going over to Europe to just fucking party it up, you know, like it's World War II. I'm not gonna lie, all right? We joined World War II a little bit late. Like, my grandfather was of the wave that he came in after the Battle of the Bulge, so he just got to sit around in Berlin, and he hung out in Belgium. But I mean, no, the war was not like that, dude. This shit was fucking brutal, man. They're not just hanging out, just fucking having a good time. This shit was, it was the worst fucking war ever. Hold on a second. I got pictures here, dude. Every picture I've seen doesn't even look like the place that they're supposed to be at. You know, like every picture of a battlefield, it's like they're not fighting in France's fucking countryside, hanging out like, oh, beautiful France. They're like in a fucking mud hole, man. Like the terrain is destroyed. Unless you were there in like the first week, nothing looks like it used to look. It doesn't matter. It just looks like you're hanging out in a fucking mud field. And my favorite is, I have this, there's a picture here of a trench, like a dissected picture of a trench. And it's like, oh, this is the proper trench. Like, this is what an ideal trench looks like. It's got duck boards so you don't get your feet wet. It's got proper drainage and all that shit. And, like, it's got, like, a retaining wall. I have never seen a trench like this. You look at these pictures, and it's just dudes sitting up to their knees in fucking mud with a fucking rat crawling on them at night. How are you going to keep them down on the farm? Look at this fucking guy. This guy, all humanity has left this guy's fucking face. This guy, how are you going to keep him down the farm? That guy would give his left testicle to be pulling potatoes right now in Idaho. I guarantee you are going to have no problems keeping him down on the farm. That guy's seen some shit, alright? He's been up to his fucking balls in mud for the past 4 years, and every night he has to beat rats off of him with a shovel. And in Battlefield 1, they tried to spruce it up, alright? Because if you actually had the World War I aesthetic, it would be one demoralizing, gray, shitty game. Because look at the fucking environment, man. This is what it actually looked like. Look at that. Fuck, it's just bodies everywhere. Look at these guys. They dug their own fucking graves. They're just like, please, someone come by and beat me with a shovel. Have you ever seen... Look at the forest, man. Like, that used to be a forest. Now it just looks like a bunch of pieces of beef jerky sticking out of the fucking ground. This one guy right here. He's smoking a fucking pipe. He's smoking a pipe over this guy that got his fucking head blown off. And this guy up here, he's looking at me for laughing. He doesn't appreciate that. Is it alright me using this webcam? I mean, it was just a quick video. I just felt like making this really quick. I didn't know if you guys would be offended by this shitty quality. Oh, and yeah, I forgot about this one. Make sure to check out my Twitter. It's in the description, and check out my Instagram. It's in the description as well.